Welcome back to Coaching Company. We are halfway home, just past the bottom of the hour here on Stadium. As always, you can also catch us on demand at our YouTube page. And while you're there, check out everything else. Coach and Bro, The Last Word. We have everything. We have betting. We have combat sports. We have pro wrestling all on one page. I am the coach, and today my company is Big Tommy C, Raphael, and Z. Now we're talking all things Super Bowl. Raphael, real quick, you said during the break that tomorrow you have even more bets that you're going to be putting out. Can we feature them here on the show?
Yeah, why not? We got the Puppy Bowl. Over under in the Puppy Bowl's 200.5 points on the Puppy Bowl. We have
Oh my
politic
God.
prop bets. We have more Taylor Swift prop bets. We have referee prop bets. Broadcasting prop bets. What's Tom Brady going to say first? Is he going to wear beads in the booth? One of my favorite ones is New Orleans. What are they going to show on TV first? Bourbon Street, the Cathedral, or Preservation Hall? So I got you covered. Over 2,500 different ways that I'm going to be sending bet the props.
Oh my God, you are earning your money. Z, are you prepared for your Puppy Bowl bet yet?
I'll tell you what I miss. Forget about the Puppy Bowl. I remember when I was a kid, I thought the Bud Bowl was such a big deal.
Yes, yes.
I thought that was real. I was way into the Bud Bowl.
I forgot about the Bud Bowl.
It wasn't real. It wasn't real. Oh my goodness, over 2,000. I remember a day when there was only like 300 or 400. We thought that was a lot, but my goodness, keep Raphael in business. Over 2,000. Tommy, is there a? Yeah, I went to dinner last night with a few people from the PGA Tour, and this was a topic of dinner, and I pulled out the email from. I kid you not, all my kids. I pulled out the email from Raphael. I said, "Look what we're doing." Everybody at the table was completely into it, and we played a game, Tommy, I kid you not, and they said it was all the Taylor Swift stuff that we did yesterday, but they loved it. They were completely into it. Does that surprise you, Tommy, that random people into the Taylor Swift props?
That does surprise me a little bit because I think Swifties has their own fans. I think other people have their opinion about Taylor Swift. So sitting around the dinner table talking about Taylor Swift and not being a Swiftie, that really does surprise me.
Something that you can't bet on this year, but I'm going to be interested because a couple of years ago, or maybe it was even last year, it was a big story because of how it was the Vegas Super Bowl of how expensive the skyboxes were, and they were, I believe, $1 million, $2 million, something like that. And there was sound of Kelce and George Kittle talking about how expensive they were, and Kittle, his wife, can sit in the seats. Taylor cannot sit in the suites.
Right.
Do you think that Travis Kelce is going to pull the trigger and spend 7 figures on a box at the Superdome?
I mean, do we know that it's Travis Kelce? Taylor Swift's got more money than God at this point. Like, I would figure somebody's paying for it. All right, like she's not sitting with the normals. All right, she's going to be in a suite. Whoever's going to foot that bill, Taylor Swift is not sitting in the crowd.
So right now I'm binge watching a show on Netflix called Alpha Males. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's an international show and they dub in. It's kind of bad, but it's a funny story about 4 dudes that are alpha males that try to find their I guess their feminine side. Travis Kelce's an alpha male, and so we'll see if he wants to pull that trigger. But 7 figures, he's only making $40 million a year, guys. Not like Taylor Swift money.
I have a prop bet of how much his engagement ring is going to cost over 575,000 over under.
Stop it. How much?
I think it's 575,000 over under.
Oh my God, I'm going over. I'm going way over. I'm going way over on that.
It's going to be outrageous.
But the jeweler says she has a really small hand, so you can't really be bulky with someone like that.
No,
so be very cautious with that prop bet.
The amount of research you have to do for these bets is amazing. The size of Taylor Swift's hand. Are we really talking about that?
J-Lo's first engagement ring was under 575,000.
Yeah, but she's had like 8 of them. So
I said her first one, though. Her first one.
All right, let's play a little take your pick. And Z, I'm conflicted because when you look at the championship games, you had a ton of points. Both games went to the over. And this one has been hovering around 48 or 49, but I want to look at the team total first. And they're both basically the same. The Chiefs 24.5 and the Eagles are 24. Take your pick. Which one you think goes to the over?
You know, I'm going to start out with a question, though, and the question's for Raphael. If the Chiefs are a 1.5 point favorite, why are they only a 0.5 point over the Eagles total here? How does that work?
Yeah.
Because you figure the public is always going to bet an over on Super Bowl. Over money is going to come in. I would actually probably make this 25.5 just because the amount of money on the over is going on there. So the limits are small on team total points compared to the Super Bowl game, which $1 million came in yesterday on the
Oh,
Philadelphia Eagles. That's why the number is now one. So I would probably, if I was still making odds for books, I would make this 25.5 to cover me with all the Chiefs over money coming in.
All right. Well, with all that said, I'm going under on both of these, not by a lot, but I think this game is played in the low 20s. I think it's a lower scoring game, so I'll go under.
I agree.
Raphael?
I like the Chiefs under the 24.5 because there's only one guy that's gonna win the Super Bowl against beat the Eagles, and that's Patrick Mahomes. So what do? You keep him off the field. Run, 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 run. Give me the under 24.5.
Yeah, I think Mahomes is going to go over, even though I like the whole idea of Saquon running that great offensive line, just busting a hole and letting him go 60 yards, which coach doesn't want to see. But I got to take the Chiefs here. I'm telling you, you give Andy Reid 2 weeks to prepare for a game, he's going to come out with stuff you never even seen before.
And let's not forget, guys, he is I believe, the all-time winningest coach for the Eagles as well. There's so many storylines intertwined here, and a lot of motivation. I think that if Andy Reid wants to three-peat, he knows he's got to put it in the hands of Patrick Mahomes. And if that happens, I think they're going to score a lot of points. And I know I'm trying to be objective, but for the Chiefs to win this, they've got to score over 24 and a half. They got to get to at least 27. So I'm going to take the Chiefs over on their team total here and hope that Saquon, who, by the way, his number is 114. We'll talk about him a little bit tomorrow. It's crazy for a Super Bowl. 114 is your prop. That's how dominant Saquon Barkley has been. Now, Z, there are other names out there that, especially for the Chiefs, everybody thinks that Kelce's been dominant because he hasn't had a lot of catches. He hasn't had a lot of yards. So I want you to take your pick. Xavier Worthy, 55 and a half, or Hollywood Brown at 41 and a half. Which one do you like?
Yeah, I'm going to go Worthy. Worthy's already had a big playoff game. And like you said, it's hard to have too much faith in Kelce having a big breakout game at this point. Andy Reid, like Tommy said, you got a couple weeks to prepare here. So why not use a guy like Xavier Worthy, who you could use in several different ways? So I'll go with Worthy.
Yeah, I like Worthy as well. Now we even look at his prop bet as a receiver and rushing yards. I can see a sweep coming in, a handoff to his speed on that one. So I'll take Worthy at 55.5.
Yeah, I'm taking Worthy too. Speed kills. He's the fastest guy on the field. He makes some really good receptions. And again, Reed's going to have some plays for him. I'm taking Worthy.
I'm going to go the other way, guys. Hollywood Brown has that nickname for a reason. He is flashy. Remember, he came in, he was hurt, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a bad season for the Chiefs. Now he's back. He's healthy. This is a relatively low number. I think he could be a long shot, meaning long down the field, and get it in one catch. So I'm going to lead in to Marquise Hollywood Brown at 41 and a half. Now, Z, let's flip the script and let's go to the other side, the Eagles. We know about Jalen Hurts. We know about A.J. Brown. But what about Devante Smith at 50 and a half? And then the big tight end, Dallas Goddard, the exact same number. Take your pick.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Devante Smith. I remember a couple years ago in the Super Bowl, I wagered on Devante Smith. It was either over a certain number of yards or MVP of the game, long shot. I wanted to get nuts, guys. All right. So I went with Devante Smith a couple years ago, and I'm going to do it again here. I could see Devante Smith having a big game, so let's go with him.
There's three biggest prop bets players out there right now: Travis Kelce, Barkley, and my boy Dallas Goddard. I don't know why Dallas money came in so quickly, so I'm going to go with him. I think he has a really, really big game. I think the tight ends on both sides can be very key factors.
Yeah, I'm taking Dallas also. I think Kansas City's going to key on Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown over the middle, Goddard all day. I'm taking Dallas Goddard here.
I hate to admit this, but where our defense is the most vulnerable is the middle, which you'd think would have me leaning towards Dallas Goddard. It's not. I think Devontae Smith is going to get open downfield 2025. So I would look at his longest reception because I don't think they want to run him across the middle like A.J. Brown or Goddard. So I'm going to lean into Devontae Smith over 50 and a half, even though I know that we've had a hard time, the Chiefs, guarding the tight end. Real quick, because we still have a couple of minutes left here. Z, when you're looking at the Eagles side of things, and as good as the Chiefs defense have been, they've been very, very vulnerable. but it's all been about Saquon. How do you think they will balance trying to get Saquon his carries, but understanding that this Chiefs team has been thrown on this year?
I think part of the way that you could open things up for Saquon is Jalen Hurts is going to have to run himself. If you got to worry about Jalen Hurts, which is fine, both these quarterbacks can run. But if you got those linebackers for Kansas City having to worry about Jalen Hurts and what he's going to do with his feet as well, maybe that winds up opening some things up for Saquon Barkley too when you have dual threats there in the backfield.
The legs, Raphael. Yesterday, Big Chuck was sending me a few plays he likes for the Super Bowl, and he loves Patrick Mahomes and his rushing prop at around 30-31. I think, as I said, arm and feet. Mahomes, if they don't three-peat, it's not going to be because he didn't do enough. Do you also like him with his legs like Z likes Hurt?
Yeah, I think both quarterbacks are going to be running the ball, just like I think all running backs are going to be running the ball. It's going to be a run-happy game because I think both teams are going to be conservative. I think both defense are going to want to stop the big play. So I think the running attack for both sides. But Patrick Mahomes, love his prop bet. I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts prop bet on his rushing yards, but I do like Patrick Mahomes.
Big Tommy, you always bring the fan perspective. How much does it grind your gears that your guy, who was your guy for the Giants for all these years, he moves down I-95 on the Jersey Turnpike, and now all of a sudden he's in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's incredible. I really like Saquon Barkley. And let's face it, guys, the Chiefs have never faced an offensive line like the Philadelphia Eagles. These guys are 6'6", over 330, and they're going to pound you all day. And there's going to be a spot where Saquon gets open, and we saw it in the playoffs, 60 yards, touchdown. So I like Saquon. I think he's a good guy, and he's got the best offensive line in the NFL playing for him.
And on tomorrow's show, we will dive a little bit deeper into Saquon and his props as we will have the final show of the week before we get ready for the Super Bowl. All right, still to come. What a great show today. What a great show today. The vibe is up, positivity, everybody liking each other. I absolutely love it. Now, how much did the Mets love Peter Alonso and these negotiations? Coming up next, we have a very special edition of One Word. Also, for those of you who weren't here at the top of the hour, don't even worry about it. We got you covered as we lock it in. It's Coaching Company every single weekday right here on Stadium.